Before I get started with this video, I have to give a shout out to Lisa Cabrera, not because she sent me an email about the video that I'm doing for you, but because she was talking in a video recently about challenging copyright claims. And the reason why I'm saying is because what I'm showing you right now, if I was to play these videos, even just a second of them, that's exactly what I would get against this video. So I have to make sure to be careful not to press play at any time during this commentary. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do the entire video over. So shout out to her in that aspect. But last week I was sitting down and I was just like looking at different clips from movies I watched as a child, and something really struck my attention. Now, if y'all remember last year, I had started doing a series of videos talking about some subliminal messages that may have been hidden in plain sight in a lot of animated movies we watched as children. Now, I didn't catch on to it then, but I definitely caught on to it maybe a couple weeks ago or maybe last week when I happened to watch a clip from a movie that y'all may be familiar with called The Prince of Egypt. Came out in 1998 and it was made by DreamWorks and got pretty much a lot of praise, mainly because of the animation depicting the Egyptians of how they looked back then. It's amazing how they can get them right in animation, but for some reason they just can't translate them right onto screen. The only people that got it right as far as translating it onto screen was Michael Jackson with his Remember the Time video. But anyway, something that I noticed that I didn't pick up on then that I definitely see now after watching the clip over and over again. I mainly watched it for entertainment purposes, but then I stopped and caught myself. Something very odd just happened here, but it doesn't catch me as, completely odd. There was a scene in the movie where the Ramses and Moses character were racing on chariots with horses, and one of the Hebrew slaves was fixing up the Sphinx head. And when Ramses and Moses were on their chariot, they were riding through the structure that was, used as a construction site, and they bumped into the guy making it, and he kind of lost his footing. And what ended up happening is the scaffolding ended up knocking the nose off of the Sphinx. As you can see right here, there's the nose being knocked off right here, and that's where the nose was, and that's the structure falling apart. Now, I'm going to go to another clip because it's something else I wanted you to see, but it's not from this movie, it's from another one. This right here. Now, this right here came from a little animated movie, Disney movie back in the earlier 90s, came out before Prince of Egypt, called Aladdin. Now, this scene right here is the part where Jasmine and Aladdin are on the magic carpet singing the song A Whole New World. And what happened was they were flying on a magic carpet and they saw, and this guy was working on a Sphinx head, and again on a scaffolding like in the previous one, and he's chiseling, like he's chiseling the nose, shaping the nose, but he looks back because he can't believe that he sees two people on a flying carpet. Like that would catch anybody off guard in real life. And what happens is he chisels a little too hard and it knocks the nose off of the Sphinx head. As you can see right here, there's where the nose was, and that's the piece of the nose right here that fell off. Now, we all know that in Egypt, the Sphinx had a very distinguished looking nose that was broad, and it pretty much let you know that the Egyptians were white. Were black, excuse me. And we know who was responsible for knocking that nose off. That was by Napoleon. Now, it's crazy how this was hidden in plain sight in animated movies, films that kids would go see. But it's amazing how all it took for me to figure this out years later was just to constantly watch a clip from this movie in this scene in particular over and over again to make me want to make this video. And at first I was only going to talk about this, but then Aladdin came to mind as well. I said that's not a coincidence that the two times that they show the Sphinx head in an animated movie, that they show the nose being knocked off. Not in a violent way, but more so in an accident. I'm very sure that when Napoleon did it back then, they considered it an accident as well. But that's all I wanted to bring to your attention. I want you to let me know in the comments, did you ever pick up on that before, or was this your first time really noticing it? But this is just something that caught my attention. I wouldn't consider this a throwaway video, but it's more like an eye-opening video. It's just amazing of the stuff that they hide in a lot of these animated films that you don't catch on then that you catch on to now. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will leave the links to my PayPal, Patreon, and email in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.